The evangelist said, if you want to have a burden for your family to be saved, come up front. We went up front with all these youth, and suddenly we were transported to hell. It was like I was in hell. Everyone began screaming and yelling, no, and seeing their family members in hell. I saw my father in hell, though he had not died. I realized that he was about to go to hell. He was either about to get killed or something was going to happen to him. And I began weeping for him, and I said, no, God. And I stopped praying for him was what happened. I told God, I don't want to pray for him anymore. He doesn't want to get saved.
This was before this vision.
Yeah, before this vision, I told God, I don't want to pray anymore. I've tried 8 years, just leave me alone.
It's not doing any good.
Yeah, so I don't just leave him alone. In that vision, God said, pray now or he's going to die. I began weeping and weeping and weeping and interceding for my father. And in the vision, I saw my dad look at me. He was burning, and he said, son, why did you give up praying for me? I was this close. It just devastated me. And as I was praying, I found out that same day, probably that same hour, a little old lady came and knocked on the door. My dad was depressed that day. He didn't want to live anymore. And that lady led him to the Lord, probably within those few hours.